This is Drive Time. We're here from 4 till 7, Monday to Friday, with London stories and London talking points. A row has erupted in Hampstead Heath Ponds about whether transgender women should be allowed to access the women's only pool. You've heard this story before. You've heard it on this station and you've heard it on this programme. It is a fascinating story of our times. The City of London Corporation, who own Hampstead Heath, are launching a consultation to enshrine trans rights, which are already protected by the Equalities Act in an official policy. Zoe Fletcher from the Lesbian Rights Alliance told us here on BBC Radio London why she has campaigned against allowing those who self-identify as women to use the ponds.
Men who identify as women should not be allowed access to women's single-sex facilities and services. They remain male, whether or not they've had surgery or taken hormones, and this would infringe on my rights, our rights as lesbians and as women, to bodily privacy, dignity and safety.
Let's talk to Tara Hewitt, co-founder of Trans Equality Legal Initiative. Tara, great to have you back on the show.
Hi Eddie, it's always great to join you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get on this time. We normally get on really, really well. I'm a bit scared this time because this story has been bubbling away, and I've been looking at it. I haven't been able to get my hands on it because Vanessa will not let it go. Okay, and it's almost a story of our times. And actually, in a way, part of it got played out in a really unfortunate manner, didn't it, at the Pride Festival?
I mean, I think that whenever we advance equality in society, there's always people that oppose those advances. If we go back to, say, looking at Section 28, there was those people that were equally as vocal about us being more visible and inclusive around lesbian and gay and bisexual communities. So it's not shocking that there's those people still opposing trans inclusion, even though we've made big progress up until now.
No, and I accept that, and I've said on many times to the point where my listeners get incredibly bored of me saying it, the biggest word, quite literally, I suppose in your case, or in the case of this particular subject, the biggest, most scary word in the English language is change. But I don't know that that's what this is about, and I need your help. That's why you're on the show, right? So, as I understand the story, here is an area which has been put aside for women. And these people who identify as women would also like to use the space. But just let me give it to you, and then you come back, because you're going to explain it to me. But the people who were born physically, I'm trying to use all the terms that are inoffensive, and you'll help me if I don't, they and these lesbians object to that, because even if you identify as a woman, technically their argument is that you're still a man. Where have I got it wrong, Tara?
So since 2010, the law has viewed anybody who intends to who has permanently transitioned from a different gender to assigned to another birth. And that transitioning doesn't mean any medical intervention. It just means a lifelong intention that this is the gender that I'm telling you that I am, has been able to access single-sex facilities in the UK and has had that protected under the Equality Act. So we've had for 8 years. This has already been law that organisations have policies in place to try and make sure that people can access those services. And we haven't seen the sky falling in. We haven't seen the abuses or the dangers that some of these people that are coming out now to almost a bit late to the game say, oh, we oppose where we're going with this equality agenda. But actually the changes were made, and what they're saying is likely to happen hasn't happened. And that's what's really...
Well, no, what did you hear? I heard in the piece of audio that we just played there, Tara, what I heard is, as a woman, I may not, do not, will not, have not felt comfortable about somebody who merely says they identify as a woman being allowed to use the same facilities as me. So whilst we're dealing with the rights of trans people, what about other people's rights?
So like I said, that it has been in place for around 8 years since the Equality Act came in, and sadly there's always minorities in society that don't feel uncomfortable with certain groups being in their spaces, or whether it's people that don't accept that people from different ethnic minorities should be in their spaces, or people that don't accept people who are lesbian, gay or bisexual should be in their spaces.
Is that the same thing, Tara? I'm just stopping you before you go there, because I can't identify. I'm a big grey-bearded black guy. And no matter what I do, that's what you're going to see, isn't it? So we're not talking about that.
I'd say that's not true. I'd say that people, men and women, come in all shapes and sizes, and actually that trans people are actually diverse in our body types and how we present as well. And I think that the objections are not based on any evidence that anybody's done anything to hurt anybody or any evidence.
No, you keep saying that, and that's not what I'm saying. So because we don't have as much time as I've never had as much time over the years I like, and I don't know why. I think they do that because they're scared that you or I we're going to get, one of us is going to get ourselves in trouble. But the point is not that.
Yeah.
The point is not that you are going to hurt my sister, my wife, my mother, whoever it is who is objecting, and I don't know who they are. But that's not the point. The point is, they don't feel comfortable because though you may feel a particular way, you are presenting, with my eyes, you're presenting as a man.
So, like I said, they do describe why they feel uncomfortable by it. Those groups give rationale on why those people don't feel comfortable with trans people in those spaces, and they perceive that those people, that trans women are a danger, and that they list a whole variety of absurd reasons why that discomfort exists. And I think that for me it does come down to what you said that it can't do, which is that a group of people don't want trans people in the space. It's the same reason some people don't want people from different ethnic minorities, people from different sexual orientations. And to me,
it's just a prejudice, you mean?
Yeah, for me it is, and it's really, if you look at women's groups, they're supporting the changes to the Up and Coming Gender Recognition Act. Most of the women's groups across Wales, Scotland and England have united to back these changes, and it's sadly a minority of people who often come out in private in a very aggressive way, but when they come onto the media, like in any campaign, can present a face in a way that seems respectful and seems reasonable, but ultimately it does just come down to prejudice, and that's why I think it's sad, because any type of prejudice, I think, in 2018.
So would you still feel the same way if the narrative was post-op, okay, but pre-op, please give me my privacy?
So again, surgery and body types, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia, whatever a person's gender or background, and if anyone's doing anything inappropriate in a space, then that's what needs to be tackled. Regulating based on somebody's body type is, again, not something I'd like to see in 2018 for anybody, whether they're trans or not.
Finally, I've served, practice it. I've got so used to seeing LGBTQ communities. I've been doing that thing that I hate people doing with me. I've been putting you all in one big old lump, and now there's division in the ranks, Tara.
I think that's humanity. It's human nature, sadly. Eventually we'll get there when we're all working on the same hymn sheet and moving forward together.
Great to speak to you again, Tara. We'll do it longer next time, I do promise you. Appreciate your time. Tara Hewitt, co-founder of Trans Equality Legal Initiative. There you go, you have it. It's a London story, that's what we're here to cover. City of London Corporation, they own Hampstead Heath. They're launching a consultation to enshrine trans rights, which are already protected, as you heard from Tara there, by the Equalities Act in an official policy.